Hey there, Michael Sazin, Parrot Wizard, and I've got Rachel, my boongle macaw, Truman, my Cape Parrot here today to answer the question, what is better, a harness or a travel cage? And really, in reality, it depends, and in my personal preference is both. There's time and place for each of these, and I have a harness and a travel cage for each of my birds because sometimes you want to be doing different things. So let's go over the pros and cons of each of these and what situations you're going to want to use them in. And you're probably going to want to get one of each. And an awesome harness like this, as well as a DVD learning how to use it, as well as the travel cage with new perch, is available for purchase from parrotwizard.com. So you can get all the supplies you need to get your bird outside safely, in comfort, and in style. So when do you want to use a harness? What are the pros and cons of a harness? Well, first and foremost, a harness allows you to get outside with your bird with you. It's a much more personal experience. You can spend one-on-one time interacting. You can have the bird step from hand to hand. You can pass your bird to strangers, visitors, friends, family. This is a great socialization exercise for your parrot. Furthermore, it gives your parrot a lot of mobility and exercise. Your parrot can walk, your parrot can fly. It's really just like being outside with you, but with the safety net of having that leash. And keep in mind, this leash is really important whether your bird is clipped, flighted, likes to fly, doesn't like to fly. Outside, there's a breeze, there's adrenaline, there can be cars in the street, and even a clipped bird could take off from your shoulder and fly just far enough to land in the street and get hit by a car or snatched off by a dog. These things are not worth it. Use that harness to keep that bird on you at all times. And if you're ready to fly your bird deliberately in a park or in a larger space, in that case, you can use an extension lead to give your parrot the freedom to fly longer distances. So Rachel, that's real nice being outside with your harness, huh? You're showing it off to everyone. That's great. Now, what are the downsides to a harness? Well, the biggest downside is that, frankly, birds don't like to wear them. Not naturally, not out of the box, that is. This is asking quite a lot. This is an advanced skill to be able to teach a parrot to voluntarily and willingly put it on. Now, I do believe that every parrot owner can learn how to do this, and that's why I've released my Parrot Wizard Harness Training DVD to show you all the steps involved so that you can teach that to your parrot. However, this takes some skills, some requisites, and quite a bit of time. You need to patiently work on these skills until your parrot is comfortable with it. How long does it take to teach a parrot to wear a harness? That really depends. Some of the young baby birds can learn it really quite quickly in a matter of a few hours or days. For an older parrot with a long history, an adult that doesn't like handling, it could take a year just to get that parrot to be comfortable with handling and having your hands on the bird before you can even dream of coming at that parrot with a harness. So keep in mind that teaching that bird to wear a harness is not just about the harness, but it's also about all the taming and training to have a great hands-on relationship with that bird. You can learn to develop a hands-on relationship with any parrot using the help of my book, The Parrot Wizard's Guide to Well-Behaved Parrots, or check out the Parrot Academy, parrotwizard.com. Now, that brings us to the travel cage. What are the pros and cons of a travel cage, and when would you want to use that? Well, first of all, if your parrot is not harness trained, you might not have another choice. You might only be restricted to taking your parrot outside in a travel cage. And that is quite fine. A nice roomy travel cage like this still lets the sun through. The bird can enjoy being in the sun, and you can use this as a way to start getting your parrot out and used to being outside while you're still doing your training. So that's okay. While your parrot is still learning to wear the harness, you can still get that parrot used to seeing what's going on outside and enjoying the sunshine in the travel cage. Now, the travel cage is not just for parrots that are shy or unable to use a harness. It's great even for harness trained birds, because sometimes you might need to set your parrot down. You might be busy doing your own thing and you don't have your chance to keep your eyes on that parrot the whole time. Maybe you're sitting in your backyard grilling some steaks up and you don't have time to keep that bird out, and it's not the right time or place. You might keep him in a cage so you can get the sun and under your supervision. Other times might be, well, if you're traveling. So even though my birds are all harness trained, we might want to be able to put them in the car to go somewhere, to go to a park or travel to a distant destination. The parrots need to have a cage so that they can spend time in safely and have their food and water in and things like that. On the other hand, when we get to our friend's house, we might leave the cage behind and put the bird on a harness and go for a walk. So the travel cage definitely has its time and place, whether your bird is harness trained, free flight, doesn't fly, no matter what. That's just a useful tool for being able to take your parrot outside. So what do you prefer to use, a harness or a travel cage? Leave a comment. And if you don't use one or the other, or if you don't use either, be sure to check them out and look into getting a harness and a travel cage so that you can make the most of your outing experience with your parrots, so you can get them out in the sunlight. That's just great for their health. It's great for their socialization, and so they can be a better pet for you back at home just as well. So check out all of my behavior enhancing supplies, harnesses, cages, etc., and things that will help improve your relationship with your parrot, as well as my collection of Parrot Wizard videos, parrotwizard.com, and check out the new Parrot Academy, a component of parrotwizard.com as well. Take care. See you next time. Bye.